me know when I'm live. I think I'm
click.
live now. I hear my voice.
I do believe we are live. Hold on, but it's not displaying the window correctly.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode of Oh Baby a Triple. I have to turn off this Twitch video so I don't hear myself. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Oh Baby a Triple, the TV show turned radio show turned podcast turned live stream. I'm your host, Corey McCray, and with me are my other two hosts.
Ryan, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, I guess. I'm Ryan. Hello. Also known as Hatsune Miku for today.
The stream is looking clipped.
There we go. I just fixed it.
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh.
Hi, Hatsune.
Do I need to reintroduce myself
Go ahead,
again?
do it one more time.
Yeah,
Hello.
one more for the
My
bit.
name is Ryan, and for today's episode, I am Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, this is our Halloween episode, so we're all dressed up.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Get
This is
your
so
spook
spooky.
season in.
Absolutely. And
Could
then,
have Halloween.
Harry, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Harry. I'm very excited for Halloween. It's my favorite season. I'm really excited to be celebrating it with my friends
Heck yeah.
and my friend's cat.
Is Trixie going to do the licking?
Is it feeding time?
Oh, yep, she is. She is.
Ryan, I saw you prepare. I saw you move the ponytail out of the way. I saw you prepare. You gotta let Trixie.
Nope,
Either way.
She's being denied.
Denial.
Nope, she's
Either
just
way.
gonna lick the fucking wig. Don't do that.
What a cute kitty. Today we have a special stream in store for you guys. We're talking about Resident Evil.
Yeah, if you can see, we got where is it? We got Leon right here.
Yeah.
And we got fucking Mila Jovovich over there.
Yeah.
We got a very special
Mila,
stream.
Leon. It's gonna be really good, guys. So I think we should just kind of jump into Harry, you played the most recent demo.
Yeah, Resident Evil 8 Maiden. Resident Evil
Yeah.
8 Village Maiden, I think, was the title.
Mm-hmm.
It was,
Which had,
oh yeah, it had, you know who it had.
it had big vamp lady.
Yeah, the demo was scary as fuck. It was only like 15 minutes long. I had a really hard time because I'm a fucking idiot, so I couldn't get any of the puzzles were giving me a hard time. So it probably took me a little bit longer than the average person. But it was pretty good. It was scary. You didn't really do much because it wasn't like you don't fight anything or shoot anything or whatever. But it set up the atmosphere really well, and it has me very excited for the full game to come out.
Very fun. I can't wait to play or watch people play. I prefer Resident Evil as like a party of people playing together.
Like how we played 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, that was so much fun. I would love to be able to do that with 8. Like it might be like a streaming game.
Yeah, honestly, I might even just play it vicariously through you if you stream it.
Yeah, I definitely wanna.
My girlfriend and I are definitely planning on playing the game together.
Hell yeah.
Because she's a huge Resident Evil fan. I think she's played like 7, like I want to say like 6 or 8 times. I think. Like
Oh, wow.
the first
Goddamn.
time, like when we went to my place, she found out I had Resident Evil 7. She decided she was like, "Well, do you want to play video games?" And I'm like, "Sure, I'll play some video games." And she's like, "Can I play Resident Evil 7? Play like something else?" And I'm like, "Sure." So she just replayed all of 7 and beat it in the time that I was taking to play another game. Like she beat it in like one sitting. That's how much she's played it. She knows everything top to bottom. Perfect.
Damn.
But it's like one of her favorite games.
She
Yeah,
can recite
she
every
loves-
line from the game.
Pretty much, yeah. Like it's insane. Like
I
I'm
don't
like
think I've
that's a
ever
level
played
of
a game that
dedication.
many. I've never
Nah, I
played a game
haven't
that many
either.
times.
Not even Fez.
Not even Fez.
I'm glad we
Yeah,
both
no,
had
yeah.
the exact same thought.
I'm as much into the bit as everyone else is. Damn, Trixie's gone.
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of her because I don't want her looking at me anymore.
Are there cats in Resident Evil?
Probably.
I mean, there probably are like cats in general, or like, are you talking like about main characters with?
I was
Like
thinking like
zombie
maybe
cats?
there's a good cutscene where a cat is featured. As a
Probably.
feature.
Mm,
That's some. Probably.
I
I
don't-
mean, there's how many Resident Evil games? I feel like one of them has to have a cat in it at some point.
there's, I mean, if you don't count the spin-offs, there's a shitload, but I don't. Like Operation Raccoon City,
Oh.
like, yeah, like I don't know, or I think it's Revelations was the other like spin-off series where it was like a
Yeah, there's a
Wii.
couple of
It was a
those.
Wii game. Yeah.
There's a movie.
Yeah. There's a I mean, I feel like I can't remember any prominent scenes with cats though in Resident Evil though.
Mm-hmm.
But they should bring more cats into Resident Evil. Maybe this next game they should have some village cats walking around.
Yeah,
Because they got dogs. They have
vampire
plenty
cats.
of dogs.
Oh
Vampire
yeah, the series
cats. There
loves
you
its
go.
dogs.
Love dogs though. They got zombie dogs all the time, everywhere. Though that's a staple of the game since the first one.
Fleshy zombie dogs.
Oh yeah, they're nice and fleshy. They're pink
know what?
and rippy.
Ooh.
I think I'm gonna kind of steer away from whatever you were saying
What's
here.
wrong with things that are pink and rippy?
I would say out of all the things Resident Evil related that's with the dogs, my favorite bit is from the first movie.
Yeah,
Where
I literally just
Jokovic
watched it.
just jumps in the air and kicks the dog in the face, and it
She
flies.
fucking jumps in the air, like kicks off of 2 different walls, and then kicks it in the face through a window.
The sound effect that it makes is just like a, like it's just like a really hard like thump.
That was my favorite
It's
fucking
so
part of the
funny.
movie. I literally just finished it a couple minutes ago. And it's like
fantastic.
literally, it's like 20 minutes into the movie, she remembers that she can do kung fu, and then like she like
Yep.
literally she had amnesia and she just remembers she can do fucking kung fu, and like she like does karate and shit on a bunch of dogs.
Oh no.
It was beautiful.
It's so funny. It's literally the funniest scene in the movie. Like if I had a absolute laugh out moment, it was that. That was it. That was the scene. I think the second one has more, oh my god, this is hysterically bad moments. Like, but overall, I think the first one is kind of like bland. It's like very average, and it's supposed to be rated R, but it feels like a PG-13 movie.
It's got some nip in it. It's got some nudity.
A half nip.
Yeah,
maybe,
you see
at
side
that.
boob.
Just areola.
Yeah, it's mostly
no areola. Just
No, it's a lot of nipple.
Oh, it's ooh.
She's got very very large nipples.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's weird enough to say, but I guess you see Mila Jovovic's boobs a little bit better in the second movie. I don't want to be the guy that's like, I'm paying attention to your titties.
I thought it was
but,
really
like,
funny how Resident Evil, it starts her first and last scene, she's naked. In like the beginning,
Yeah.
she opens the movie
Aw.
naked and she ends the movie naked. And it's just
She
like
does.
she's wearing
She really
clothes the
does.
entire time in the middle. But that's how they
It's
It's a
decided to
metaphor.
start and end the movie.
It's a metaphor for
Hey, man.
birth and rebirth.
Yeah, how we're born into this world naked. It's a very
Yeah.
It's a very, very like Audie's action film. Like
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
very fucking Matrix Underworld kinda like that kind of film.
Gimme,
I think it
gimme.
was made by the same. I mean, it's from Sony,
Hmm.
and Sony also did Underworld. So it's those two movies I always felt were very synonymous with each other.
They-
Was
they
the
feel
Underworld
like-
franchise and the
yeah.
Resident Evil movies.
They very much
'cause
feel
actually
like
when
the same
I-
kind of thing.
Yeah, because when I bought the box set for Resident Evil, I also did buy the box set of all the Underworld movies with it. So I
fucking-
kind of got them both at the same time. It was like, well, these are like the same movies anyways.
I love
Except
the Underworld
ones with
movies.
vampires and lichens. Sorry, they're not werewolves. They're lichens.
Yeah.
So whatever. Underworld fans, are gonna fucking come at me if I call
The
them
rabid,
werewolves.
rabid fucking Underworld fan base.
Yeah, the huge.
They
huge
exist.
clique of people. Yeah, they're gonna. Ryan, you better be careful. They'll get you.
I mean, hey, there's probably gonna be one through my window at any second now. I guarantee it.
They're gonna bust
like
through
a
the
laser
window.
point-
They're gonna be head to toe in leather and just beat the shit out of you.
That's the funny thing is, like, if you think about it, like both movies are like women wearing leather fight supernatural thing, and they're like,
you're gonna hear them, like you're gonna hear the wind up for the punch because you're just gonna hear, you're gonna hear all the leather creak as they get ready to hit you.
At first I thought that was like the bones breaking, but now that you said the leather cracking, I'm like,
No,
that's
that will
okay.
be
That
your
actually
bones
was
breaking.
very accurate. That was actually a
Absolutely.
pretty accurate sound.
And then your bones break.
What's funny is actually I brought up the movie a little bit because my first foray with Resident Evil.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Ryan?
He's paused. He's become frozen in time.
Well, I guess we'll continue talking.
He comes back. I definitely need to watch the Resident Evil movie again because I do not remember any of it.
It's quite a film. I just watched it. I haven't seen any of the other Resident Evil movies. I've played like a bunch of the games, but I never watched the movies until today. I watched in preparation. I watched the first movie and fucking holy cow, what a film!
The way I had prepared was I listened to the video game soundtracks, and I'll have some stuff to talk about later, I'm sure. But just like some interesting notes about like horror movie music and horror video game music.
Oh boy!
But I need to watch the movie. Has escaped me. It's like one of those movies where like after I watched it, I immediately forgot about it.
Just immediately gone in one ear, just right out. It's very much that kind of movie.
Yeah.
I can already feel it slowly fading from my memory.
Steve says he wants to see me lay an egg.
You think you can lay an egg?
I don't know if I can. It's not that time of the month. So, sorry, Steve. I don't think I'll be laying an egg today. Not on the podcast.
Yeah, we can't do that on Twitch.
Can't do it on Twitch. But I'm sure if maybe we had like a solely audio experience.
Ryan
There
is
goes
completely
Ryan.
gone.
Rest in peace.
Hopefully he'll
brother.
pop back in soon.
We
For
love
now,
you.
we're behind the logo.
We'll remember.
Hello?
I'm over. Oh, hey, everybody.
give a little.
Oh wait, I can give her a girl a kiss. Wait. Oh, let me hold on. I want to get it right.
Beautiful.
We can give our logo in front of our faces a kiss. Yeah, a little moi. I completely forgot where I was going with all of this. I was talking about. I got so caught up in kissing the very hot, very cute people that we have up in front of our faces.
Look at such little cuties. Look at Leon. Look at his middle part. I love him.
That's a little 90s. That is such a. I was able to rock the middle part for a little while until I shaved my head bald again.
I should get the middle part.
It was a very wild middle part. a very attempt at a middle part.
It's beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and go right back to.
Yeah.
There we go.
But it was in one ear, out the other. The movie basically was, and I feel like it's kind of like it follows the template. I think, as you said earlier, for like a lot of just 90s. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Audie's
It's
movies.
it is like to a T, exactly that kind of action film, and I love it for that. Like I fucking love that kind of movie because it's bad in an endearing way.
That's true. It's. I mean, I've seen a little bit of Underworld. I remember I was watching it with my dad when I was like young, and my dad was like, "Okay, you have to leave the room now." I was like, "Okay, Dad." Bye.
I loved those kind of movies when I was a little kid, like Underworld and Matrix, and
Yeah.
I would have loved Resident Evil if I'd seen it.
I have very like warm memories of the Matrix, even though I fucking freaked the fuck out when It was the mirror when he touched the mirror, and the mirror was like going all over his hand and his body.
Oh yeah.
I got so panicked. I ran around the house touching every mirror, making sure it wouldn't do that. I had to make sure we were all safe. But otherwise, my setup is messed up because I had the sticky notes in front of my face, so I wasn't looking at myself the whole time. And now that the windows changed, I can see myself.
Ryan says his internet crashed and he has to restart his computer.
Oh, very sad. Well, we'll hang tight, buddy. We'll talk about non-essential Resident Evil things while we wait.
Yeah, like so here's a nice Resident Evil little bit of trivia about me, Resident Evil related. So I have never properly played Resident Evil 4, which is like obviously everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
I've watched the entire playthrough. I watched my friend play it on his Wii. And I was just like sitting, like we were just sitting there and we just for like literally an entire day straight just played Resident Evil 4 on his Wii.
Nice.
So that was the first time that I experienced Resident Evil 4. And I owned it on PS2, but I never really played it much on PS2 because I didn't like. All right, so I'm gonna say like I didn't like how it controlled on PS2, but here's the clincher. I have played through all of Resident Evil 4 on my iPod Touch. When I was in like middle school, so like I didn't like the controls on PS2, but I played it on fucking iPod. So I don't really know what that says about me.
I honestly thought you were gonna get into like how great the Wii controls were.
The Wii controls were great because they were like, you know, it's a Wii pointer. And it's a shooting game, so it was really good.
Oh, that's fun. I can see that.
But
damn.
Yeah.
I know. My first experience with Resident Evil was actually Resident Evil 7.
Oh, word.
With Daddy.
With Daddy with a chainsaw.
Daddy. What was it? Fallout? Something. What was the what was the kick? What was the log line for it? It was like Resident Evil 7, and it was something like radioactive.
Oh, it was Biohazard.
Biohazard. That's it. Yeah.
That's the Japanese name of the games.
Oh, okay.
In Japan, they're all called Biohazard.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know
Fun
that.
fact.
I could see why that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because it's about like
all of the enemies. Wow, that is like I don't know why they do you know why they didn't call it just Biohazard in America?
I don't know why they changed it. I guess it's just a lot of games when they come over here they get their names changed just for localization. They called it Resident Evil because it's the first game takes place in like a mansion. It's like a mansion filled with zombies and shit. But I don't know why they decided to change it. Maybe it was just a marketing thing. Maybe Biohazard they thought sounded too generic. I don't know.
Biohazard. That's it. It makes a lot more sense to hear that it's called Biohazard in Japan.
And yeah, now they're doing. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Resident Evil 7 was my first one, and that was quite the experience. I have to say.
It was a very fun game, especially to be playing with like a bunch of friends.
I like that. It seems like a lot of people who play Resident Evil agree that Resident Evil 7 is a really good game. So I'm glad the first one I played is in the community regarded as a good Resident Evil game.
Yeah, it's like the first good Resident Evil game in like years.
Yeah. After
5 and 6, which were not great.
And it was funny because before all of that, Ryan's back.
Hey, welcome back, Ryan.
Welcome back, Rye guy. Beautiful. For now.
Yeah, if you can hear us, he's not saying anything.
But Resident Evil 7, you could maybe hear. Oh, I see a
welcome
video
back.
maybe loading. Oh, hey! We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. We don't have any audio.
I heard a click.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, there you go. He's back.
Ryan made it. He made it back from the grave.
I had to restart my computer 2 times.
In true
because it
Halloween
stopped working.
Resident Evil fashion, we've had you come back from the dead.
I like it.
Is this officially Ryan's death?
Yeah, Ryan, he died and came back.
It's his
Death
first
and Rebirth.
It's his
The
first
second
death
coming
this
of Ryan Coogler.
season. You know, it's funny. Jesus had one death and rebirth. I think Ryan's gonna have more than one.
Ryan's already had more
Definitely.
than one in Oh Baby lore.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good time at this point in the episode to say this is the first episode of season 6, and we're very excited.
Yeah.
to
Welcome
start
to
a new
season 6.
Welcome to season 6, everybody. After that long 24-minute intro, this was all planned. Ryan disconnecting, it was all a bit.
Yeah, this is actually
Yeah.
a scripted show.
How did you know?
Entirely scripted.
Definitely,
Well, I knew 'cause they
definitely
wrote
was
it.
not internet issues whatsoever.
No.
And my computer taking a dump. Nothing. All
I
according
was,
to
we were chatting, Ryan, about how Resident Evil 7 was the first Resident Evil game I played.
Oh hell
and
yeah!
Harry's was Resident Evil 4, I believe. Was it
My-
4?
Yeah, it was the first one.
My first Resident Evil game. I actually have to admit, I think it was 5. I started on the more racist one.
Oh.
One of
Yeah.
the not as great games. I love it for
No,
not because it's good. I love it for the same reason I loved the Resident Evil movie.
yeah, it's bad, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Ish.
You like
in a
fight
way
like
where,
a giant zombie crocodile, like that kind of
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's silly and goofy and a little problematic, but you know what, I remember playing that co-op with my friends back on the 360, and we had an absolute blast with it, and it was one of my favorites. And
The
that's
co-op
actually the
is great.
game. Yeah, I mean, I feel like no matter what, like even the bad games, the co-op was still what made the game fun though.
Yeah.
Like 6, I can't play that game on my own. It has to be with somebody else. I have to play it with a friend, because that is the only way I'll ever get through it. Because I've been playing 6 over again for the second time now with a buddy of mine from high school. And we have been laughing probably more than I've laughed in a game in a while. Like, it was insane how like silly that game is, because you could crab walk the whole game if you wanted. And you just lay on the ground with your gun pointed out, and you could just have your character go nice as he's crab walking with a gun out. Good job, and we just spam that like crazy, and we just do that.
What a
And
fantastic
we beat the game, and it's really fun.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Crab
it's
walk. You should do a crab walk speed run.
a crab. You know what?
Crab walk 20%.
All right, I'll do it. I'll do it for RE6 for sure. That's a good game to do it for.
Beautiful.
And the infamous 6 looks like a giraffe giving a blowjob. I mean, what don't you love about 6? I mean, let's be honest.
I
you know?
remember posting
I think it's a
this-
great game,
Yeah. Wonderful game.
except without more problematic elements. Instead of it being in Africa, now you're in China. So, oh boy, bunch of white guys come over to China to fix the problems. I don't see what the problem is. I
Good
don't know.
times. Good job, everybody.
Yee. I'm really glad that they decided to go away from the direction of 5 and 6, and now 7 is like, hey, we're going back to form. This is what Resident Evil was known for. I think that's why I'm very happy with the direction of 7, and I hope that 8 continues that path. That's all I really want.
I've got a good feeling for 8. Everything
Yeah.
we've seen so far, it's definitely looking to continue that trend of being an actual horror game.
Right.
That's good. I love the memes of like, how tall is Vampire Lady?
She's
Like,
9'6".
there's like,
Yeah.
like I love
Glad
that
we
somebody.
just knew that.
I love that it's like the size of an Xbox One, a refrigerator, and then her. She's taller than all those things, and it's so funny. And it's like,
Well, I
It's
like
great.
we put our shortest friend Mo, who's like 5'2", I think, and I put like her size scale next to Vampire Lady size scale, and it was like just I think Mo makes it to her knees maybe,
jeez,
or like just below her hips, something like that.
they're really good memes. Though I love them so much. What is
Vampire Lady.
Vampire Lady taller than?
Everything.
Everything.
Well, at 9'6". She's taller than Shaq.
See, her
She
height is
is.
actually relative. So she's always like at least 2 feet taller than the tallest thing in the room.
Perfect.
She
Well-
changes.
If the room is the tallest thing in the room.
No, the room is the room. It's not in the room.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Yeah.
like if an elephant walks in the room, she gets taller. Or if there's like a really big wardrobe, a big fucking, you know,
Right.
she's just
Or a
she just,
plane.
like or a plane.
No, there's a plane and a big
Plane in the room.
Yeah, it's taller than a plane.
If she was a vampire that was able to fly, I mean, I would hop on her back and she could just fly me all over the place. Like an
She's like
airplane.
rider, like a fucking horse.
Yeah. Yeah, just put a saddle on her. She'll be fine.
I have an important
I
question.
want to ride first class on Vampire Lady. I don't know what to tell you.
Does she suck,
Oh, she
or
sucks.
does she scrape and lick?
I mean, she's got those fingies. I feel like she scrapes
Yeah,
with
she
them.
got fingies. She might scrape and lick.
Just like, and then like, like.
Oh, I hate this.
It's like when you're eating like wings, and she's got
Yeah.
the little.
God. Oh my god.
Beautiful lady. Your finger food to her.
Fucking
Literally.
finger food. Oh my god.
Beautiful. I'm really glad I played. I'm really glad I got the chance to play 7 because before playing Resident Evil 7, I did not like horror games. My friends like when I was in high school showed me Dead Space, and I was like, I'm not gonna, and I just did not ever watch horror movies, play horror video games, and then we started playing 7 as a group. I was like, you know what, this is actually fun. This isn't bad. Being scared is not always awful. And it
Corey
changed
learned
my
that he likes
outlook.
horror games.
The
It's beautiful.
more I know about myself.
I like that we're getting a little bit of an evolution of Corey here.
Yeah.
He's evolving.
At what year did Resident Evil 7 come out?
That would have been, I think it was our first year in Park Place.
2018, 2017, I want
No.
to say.
I think it was
No way.
2017.
It would have been at least 2017 because we graduated 2018.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
okay.
was either winter
2017.
or okay. So yeah. 2017.
Yeah, it was like it's weird. It came out in January of 2017, so it was like
Alright, so
beginning
that's-
of the year.
Yeah, that'd be when we
Yeah.
played it then. Damn. So
It was
Corey
junior
was
year.
Corey was afraid of horror games until January 2017.
Dang.
Dang,
Couldn't touch him.
that's fucked up.
I
It was a little fucked up.
I mean, I didn't really play video games until like late high school, but I did play like Dead Space and things like that during high school. So that was like 2011 or so. Like I
Mhm.
didn't start playing games until like the last decade.
My
so
friends,
for now,
we played a lot of fucking Dead Space in high school. That was
Yeah.
that was a big one especially when Dead Space 2 came out. Like that was a big one.
yeah, that was the one that I played Dead Space 2.
Mm.
That was the one that I got into for horror games. I'd say Dead Space 2, Resident Evil 5. Like I was getting into like some little things here and there, but I played mostly like action RPGs and stuff like that. So, but whenever I did play a horror game, it was like really special.
Mm.
And I always felt like they stood out all the time, and they were like something that like everybody was talking about, and it was like, okay, this is like gonna be the next big thing. But I've never seen anything quite like Resident Evil that's had like the staying power as other games, because like Dead Space kind of like was there and then it died. Like after 3, it was
Third
like
game
it
came
shat
out.
the bed, and then fucking EA killed Visceral Studios, so they kind of were dead by that point. It was mostly an EA game by the third one, so they fucked over that franchise. And it's like I'm trying to think of other like prominent like horror games. I guess like Condemned, like that kind of like was there and gone. Like that was kind of popular for a little bit.
Yeah.
What was the
Um,
one we played with Rami Malek?
Oh, Until Dawn. But the studio still makes stuff actually. So like, because they just came up with Little Hope, that just came out, and that's from the same creators as Until Dawn. So because they're doing they did the Man from Medina or whatever it's called.
Yeah, they just have the Dark Pictures anthology or whatever.
Yeah, so they're still making stuff at least, so that's pretty cool. But Until Dawn was a really good game.
Amnesia, which is actually one I remember like watching people play, specifically Markiplier, because he made it funny and not scary. So that's a pivotal one for me too.
I think for Amnesia, I used to watch PewDiePie for that one because I was getting into PewDiePie, so I used to watch his Amnesia and Happy Wheels playthroughs like in like my first year of college. I'd say my freshman year of college is when I got into watching.
Nice.
So, but then yeah, times have changed, but but I don't know. Those are like, I think Amnesia was a game I liked watching people play, but I felt like I wouldn't enjoy myself. I feel like I would be kind of bored, and then the occasional jump scare, and I'd be like, all right, whatever, and I'd just turn it off and never play it again.
Yeah.
Brian gets scared. Oh, fucking shit. Turns it off.
That's happened to me before. I've gotten so scared. One time, I think I threw my controller in the air. I fell backwards, and then like I just shut off my TV, and I said, "All right, I'm done. That's it. Game over."
You just find
I
yourself
just like
on the floor, like just. I don't want to move.
I was catatonic for a little bit. I've had scares in games that bad.
Yeah.
Has any of you had a catatonic moment playing a video game like that, where you gotten so scared by something that you were like, you just kind of had to sit there and you're like, maybe I'm done.
I have to really think about that one.
I don't think so. I haven't played like a ton of horror games.
It's just me.
I played like a lot of like zombie games. Like I played Dead Space. I played Resident Evil. I played Call of Duty, Dead Island. Like I mean, it was like 2011, like peak zombie craze. So like everyone was playing all the fucking zombie games.
Yep. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of low key miss the zombie.
I can't think of a game that left me catatonic.
I miss Call of Duty Zombies. That's what I miss.
Ooh.
I love that.
I'm actually playing Call of Duty Zombies right now.
Really?
On the new Call of Duty. Yeah.
Is the new one?
Oh, I thought you meant literally right now.
Like literally while we're streaming.
Oh yeah, right now. Do you see the controller? Hold on. You see the controller in my hand?
Is the new Zombies like good? Like is it?
I like it so far.
Because I only played like World at War, Black Ops Zombies. I never played anything past that.
It's a lot different now because like you have vending machines that you have to go to get like these like perks. Pretty much, they're like cans of soda. Okay, they do.
Yeah, they
still have that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. And then you have to pack a punch your weapon to upgrade it as you continue through the level. But you have to like go through like facilities. Like now there's like a whole thing where you have to go through a facility, unlock doors, and then you have to start going to a generator, turn on the generator, get the power going, and everything like that. You have to get a bunch of stuff going.
That's like always been a thing.
Has it?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's. I guess it's the same. It's a little more. I guess it's because the maps are a little bit bigger, so that it feels a little more complex. But they actually just inserted a new map. They did interdimensional portals now. And they also have new boss monsters that you fight. In mixed with the mass horde of zombies. So you'll fight things like mimics, which are like these massive, like hulking creatures with sharp teeth that come after you. And then there's one that's like he's kind of like an acid monster that like shoots like that's like wearing like an old time like diver suit with like the helmet and everything like that.
They had like some
he
boss
shoots
monsters
like acid at you.
In the old ones, they were like unkillable boss monsters. Like they had George Romero was a boss.
Yeah.
And they had like the astronaut on the moon level, like the astronaut that just slowly followed you.
Yeah. I think these two that they got are really difficult, but I'd say the mimics are harder than the acid monster, because the acid monsters, after when you've got him to like I think half health or so, he splits into like two different people, and then there's two of them running around.
Oh fuck.
But they're like a weaker version though of that.
So like the slimes from Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minecraft's a zombies game.
See?
Hey, it's absolutely a zombies game. They got underwater zombies too. I don't think Call of Duty
really?
has that though. Yeah, Minecraft.
Oh, I didn't even know that. It's kind of fucked up.
Spooky underwater zombies.
Do they have like snorkeling masks?
No, they just go, instead of going like, they go like, they just gargle.
Okay.
It's cute. But yeah. I figure while we have a moment, I'm going to talk about horror music.
Yes, let's get into it.
Do
as
it.
a topic.
Let's do it.
Specifically through the lens of Resident Evil, because I listen to a lot of Resident Evil music, especially Resident Evil Director's Cut for the PS2. You know, the one with the basement.
I literally, that's all I want to talk about. Is just, that's literally all I want to talk about is the basement theme from
like,
Director's Cut. Yep.
Yeah.
He's not even making that up. That's pretty much what it sounds like. It's just a bunch of horns just out of sync and out of key, and they're just like blasting. It just sounds like a bunch of like clowns farting in a basement. It's
But
really funny.
What I want to talk about is when Resident Evil does it good. When Resident Evil gets it well. And
Good
mostly,
music.
I fell in love with the Resident Evil 7 soundtrack. That's good. Especially, I even forgot about the Aunt Rhody song that was like the theme for the game, which is like it's the first song of the album. It's amazing, very good, very reminiscent of like when Dead Space had like the woman singing "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star."
Oh yeah,
or something like that. Reminiscent of that, but just less creepy, less lullaby song, just more of just like awesome sounding, powerful music. And what I think is funny is I used to love music that sounded good, and now I love music that sounds fucking powerful. And Resident Evil 7 is both. It like there's music in it that sounds good, and then there's bits of it where like you've heard like horror strings where like all of the different like string sections are just kind of playing random notes, and it's just like, and all of them just are whining and screaming on their string instruments. It sounds amazing, and Resident Evil 7 does that very well. But mostly, when I was listening to it, I was thinking like, what makes horror music scary? Like, why is horror music sound the way that it does? And the things I noted were like very specific to horror music was like ambience. It's always like ambient, or there's some like drone going on, or like noises are kind of just like continuing to like go and echo and reverb and all of that. Another thing I noticed was just like the dissonance, like things didn't sound pleasant. Everything was like every sound was like jolting or like hard edged, and then nothing, there's no rhythm to any, like most of it. You'll get like when daddy's coming, you'll get like a jung jung jung, like noises like that are repetitive. But when it's like the ambient, like what's going on, there's like no pattern, there's like no rhythm. It just and I looked into it, and I want to cite my sources. I mostly went off of an article by Eva Amson of easternblot.com, a YouTube channel called 12 Tone, and a TEDx UCLA talk by Dan Bloomstein. And they all talk about the same thing, more or less. And the first thing they all mention, I recognize, is noise, like distortion.
Yeah.
Which actually relates to a scream. If you think about like when anyone sings, it's like ah, but when they scream, it gets all distorted, and you start hearing extra noise in the note. You get like ah, and it goes up. There's like all of these different sounds in there along with it, and that's part of the reason why you might hear a lot of distortion in music, as it relates to that kind of uncomfortable feeling when you hear someone scream. So you'll hear it, and I think that's where the ambience mostly comes in, is you hear this just unsettling kind of distortion, or this sound in the background that's just kind of supposed to make you uneasy. And it also, obviously, everything relates to back when we were like primitive animals. So there's a concept that like, if you're hearing a drone, it could be like the thing in the woods that you're like focused on. And like it doesn't go away, but you're like, what's gonna happen when something's gonna jump? And goes further on to talk about specifically along with the distortion you hear like high pitches, which again are very relative to screaming. So horror music and video game music for horror games, video game horror and horror movies, you'll hear the same kind of concepts as like high sounds are at the forefront. It's like the psycho sound you get because it's so high and shrill and like super distorted. Actually, like the strings don't sound quite like strings; they're like so loud that it's just it just sounds shrilly. You'll also hear like low drones under it at the same time, so you get this like big bass sound under this high shrill. And I think what's going on there, I couldn't find anything on it, but I think what's going on sometimes with like the reverb and echo, especially in Resident Evil 7 and a couple other games, you'll hear like what sounds like booms, or you'll hear like industrial sounding like clangs and hits. And I think it's supposed to make it sound like it's a big space, like you're a little thing in a big room. I think that might be what's being drawn in there. I couldn't find anything on that exactly, but that's what I'm trying to like draw a connection to. Just because I hear all the time the reverb, the echoes. I think it's supposed to make the space sound big, and it's supposed to make you feel tiny and scared like a little mouse. And then I think to wrap it up, most of the arrhythmic stuff is obviously just to leave you in the dark. You don't know when like the sting is coming. You don't know when the rise is going to end, and you're going to hear the big the big or the explosion or the scream or anything. So like when you hear like arrhythmic noises and like dissonance in music that keeps building and rising, there's no rhythm to it because you're not supposed to really know when the hit's going to come, and that scares you. So in conclusion, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. My name is Corey, and I hope you all have a very happy Halloween.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like hearing like the theory behind, the music and what goes into it.
Yeah,
it was kind of eye-opening to myself, specifically when I was listening to the soundtrack of Resident Evil 7, and I was like picking up on some similarities. I was starting to like kind of piece together like my theory as to what was going on. And after I heard the bit about like the distortion, I was like, oh, that makes complete sense. Because if you listen to the soundtrack, you'll hear like guitar with like heavy distortion on it, or you'll hear like I can't even describe the noise. It's just like sounds that people in like sound studios are playing with, and like coming up with these interesting, just mixed up sounds, and it sounds really good and powerful.
It's pretty cool.
I just like the farting clown.
The farting clown.
So great. It's so phenomenal.
I also highly suggest listening to the Resident Evil soundtracks for the games.
Hell yeah.
It's a great. They all have a very, like, even how diverse the games are, they all have a very specific sound. And it's like there's a thing that sounds like Resident Evil, which is weird. There's like something that ties them all together, specifically like orchestra sounds. Even as far back as the first game, it was like the MIDI. You have like the MIDI noises and all that, but it's always been like kind of orchestral, which is pretty cool. Just the idea of like the fanciful horror orchestra.
But cool.
It
Very
is pretty
cool.
But cool.
It is fantastic.
No.
So yeah, I love the music. Highly recommend it.
Yeah. So you guys, obviously, you guys grew up with gaming consoles as a kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. My first was the PS2.
Okay. So because obviously, like, I didn't have access to consoles when I was a kid. I played like the Resident Evil 1 remake, I guess.
The
Did
director's
any of
cut?
you? No. It's like the remake, the
Oh, the
complete
remake,
overhaul. It is pretty much the GameCube version
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Resident Evil, which is now like the official like I don't know. It's like kind of like the official fan favorite version of this series now. I guess like, did you guys like actually play the originals on the PlayStation 1 with the really bad, shitty voice acting and everything like that?
No, the first Resident
No.
Evil game I played was 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you haven't even played the first one in general?
Yeah.
Even the remake. Oh
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
I've played. First one I ever played was 4. And I played 5. I played 6. I played 7. And I played the remake for 2. But I haven't played any of the other ones. I played like some of the spin-off games, but like for main games, those are the ones I played.
Even with our limited knowledge, I guess, of the first game, I feel like it's a staple that we have to talk about the shitty voice acting from the very first game, because I feel like you can't go on the internet looking up Resident Evil without accidentally stumbling upon like somebody bringing up how bad the voice acting is. But my favorite line from Resident Evil 1, even though I've never played it, is, "Oh no, Jill, you've almost become a..." Oh, wait, it was like something about you become a Jill Valentine sandwich or something, because she almost gets crushed by a wall. But it's like, it's literally some of the worst. Oh, it's so great. I just love it.
My first, so I hadn't played like the original games. My first introduction to Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine was in the Marvel vs. Capcom games. So in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, they have Jill and she can like summon zombies and shit for her attacks. But Marvel vs. Capcom 3 has like steroid Chris, right? And he like goes toe to toe with the Hulk. Like
Oh.
And it has like weird Jill from like Resident Evil 5, where she's like all fucked up.
Oh yeah.
And she does like the weird like fucking like ghost possessed zombie shit. That one was weird. That's how I. Man. She was also fucking DLC. Which pissed me off.
Shitty.
That was she was like her and Shumagorath were both day 1 DLC, and they weren't even new characters. They were both in Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I forgot about that.
That was like during Capcom's like really shitty era.
Yeah, everything was paid DLC. I had to buy in order to get everything. They would give you like a shell of a game, and then they'd be like, pay extra for the good content. Because that was during like the DLC craze of the 360 PS3 era. Yeah. That I really didn't like. Like, I mean, even like games that were finished, I hated that it was like, I have to get, there's always going to be DLC for it. And I knew it. Like, there was always just going to be it. But I knew I wanted the DLC because it was always extra content that it was like, I kind of wish it was there in the game, so I better get it. So I have it then, and I will enjoy that. And obviously, that was a waste of my fucking money because I don't have my Xbox 360 anymore. So pissed away my cash.
But like that sometimes.
Yeah. I used to really love Marvel vs. Capcom though. Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah, I love that game
a lot.
But yeah, that's how I was introduced to Chris and Jill. Bless you. I just knew Chris as the guy who fought the Hulk in the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 commercial.
and then you played his actual game and you realize the Hulk doesn't even come into Resident Evil, and you're like, shit. Well, now I feel like now that Hulk's had a horror comic, he should definitely now be in Resident Evil from now on. He should become a permanent staple.
They've got like Hulk-esque figures in Resident Evil. There's like the really big zombies.
Yeah.
Who's the guy? Who's the gray guy in the jacket?
Mr. X.
Oh, Mr. X.
Mr. X. He's not really Hulk-esque, but I think he's as tall as Hulk.
Yeah, he's like a big guy.
I have the mod for it for Mr. X to be Shrek.
Make him naked.
Oh,
and
I like the naked one. The one where he's just wearing like the Speedo.
Those are really good. I like that one. But then also when every time he enters the room, it replaces the soundtrack with X Gon Give It To You, because I had to. I mean,
beautiful.
I had to. I love DMX, and I think it would make the Mr. X scenes a lot less scary for me.
Yeah, I feel like that diffuses the horror.
Yeah,
Give it to you.
because I'm gonna be
Give it to
honest.
you.
Whenever I've seen like people play through the game and then the Mr. X theme comes on, I actually almost have heart attacks. So I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to die playing my game. So
Actually,
in order to stop me from getting scared, I'll see
I
Shrek.
feel like
And X gonna give it to you.
I feel like it'd be worse because then you're gonna start like associating the two together. So next time when you listen to X gonna give it to you and DMC, you're gonna start like your heart's gonna start racing and you start gonna to get anxiety just by listening to the
oh,
song.
here comes Shrek. Where is he? Looks around for Mike Myers. Casually in my car.
Where is he? Just Fucking-
Yeah. There's sometimes where I'm such a bitch when it comes to scary things that I'll be like, yeah, I'll find a way to diffuse it to make it not scary anymore. Are you okay, Corey? What was that noise?
I was like, I keep adjusting the straps on my backpack.
I
So I
thought
was
you
like, why don't I
cracked
just,
your
you know?
knuckles. I thought you cracked your knuckles like this and like broke your fingers.
No, I'm fine. My fingers are fine. I've been in more pain.
I actually just hurt myself doing that.
Careful, buddy.
Yeah, shouldn't do that. Don't do that. It
You'll
felt
need
my
those
skin
fingers to play the
fell
next Resident Evil game.
off. I know. These are gamer hands. I gotta make sure I'm ready. And
My gamer fingers.
sponsored by Respawn, but this is gonna be ready for Resident Evil, so I can become the ultimate gamer.
Wait, hold on. Ryan, wait. Respawn. We're not sponsored by Respawn.
I
But
literally
Respawn,
said-
if you're watching,
I said
And
we're
you wanna
not
sponsor us?
sponsored, but
Sponsor us.
Respawn.
That's actually the RE in Respawn actually stands for Resident Evil.
yeah,
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 see?
it's Resident Evil Spawn.
yeah, which
Is
actually
it's
sounds,
See,
its
just
full name.
RE.
it sounds sick as fuck, actually.
And-
So Respawn,
and
if you're watching this and you're looking for new sponsors,
I'm your man.
Where?
Just make it
Ryan,
me. It has to
literally
only be
Ryan's
me.
your man.
Where?
I'm the only one.
Yeah.
I drink all the Respawn.
Someone clip that and send it to them on Twitter.
Please do. As I'm wearing a fucking Hatsune Miku.
And that's
Wait,
where we get goddamn
You're
Yoshi
dressed
outfit.
like Jotaro, and you're dressed like Louis. Oh,
Luigi.
Yeah, Luigi. No, I'm just like Luigi. I'm just
Corey
like
is
Luigi.
fucking Luigi costume.
Yeah.
oh God. I don't know why. I just associate green with Luigi. That's
I
it. I
wonder
just
why.
saw green, and I just went, "Yep, that's Luigi." And I'm like, "That is
Yep.
not. That's
That's
not
me. Luigi.
You do the
This-
Luigi
yo-
noise?
Yo, Luigi.
Yeah. The Mario. Wow, wow.
That was
That's
beautiful.
me. Luigi.
Very good.
That's what he sounds like.
So I guess my first interest in Resident Evil though, it unfortunately came through the movies.
Oh,
I have to admit it.
nice.
I wouldn't
And
say that's unfortunate.
Well, now I don't say it's unfortunate because I'm gonna be honest. To prepare myself for this episode, I have now seen every single Resident Evil movie. I now own every single Resident Evil movie. I've never in my life thought I would finish the series or actually see it to the end. And I'll say it was as pointless as you can imagine. What a journey. The journey that started from one movie did not end at all in any of the ways I thought it would. And it was kind of shit. It really sucked, especially the last movie. The last movie was really bad. Like, I always thought the editing was, like, pretty bad in some of them. Like, 2 had some pretty horrible editing. But I think the last movie in the series, I think it's 6. Sorry, I think there's 6 in total. But the 6th film has some of the worst editing I've seen in a movie, period. Like, it's like you want to see action scenes that cut every 0.5 seconds.
Like the fucking
literally,
Catwoman
it's
movie?
It's like cut, and you're like, it's like every like half swing they cut. So you're like about to have a seizure, and my brain actually shut down. There was a moment I had to look away from the TV because I was like, I am gonna get a fucking headache, and I didn't know what was going on.
You know what that means?
What?
That means that they're trying to hide the really bad choreography.
Oh, absolute. Oh, they really were, because that whole movie was just bad. It was like, I was astounded. I was like, all right, the final chapter. Let's go. Let's see how they end this. Because I was curious. I was like, I don't even know where they're going with it, let alone how is it gonna end.
Yeah.
Aren't they rebooting it? Like, aren't they doing another one?
They are. They're doing a new Resident Evil movie. But I want to say wasn't it through Netflix or something different?
I have no clue. When I was looking up Resident Evil movies.
Oh, you know what?
I think I saw they were rebooting the movies.
Yes, because Netflix originally was going to be doing a Resident Evil series, but I think they decided to just reboot the movie.
Reboot.
Yeah, because I think it's coming out. Oh, it says it's actually going to be coming out in 2021.
We'll see about that.
Wow.
And it says 2021 film. What the fuck? Yeah, they said September 3rd is when it's supposed to come out. It's by Sony.
Ooh,
September.
6 days
Still
before
got
my birthday.
Ooh, Corey's birthday.
It's
Birthday
a
party.
It's going to be a German American survival horror film.
That doesn't sound so bad.
All right,
That's interesting. I'm like kind of interested because I'm like, what is German American?
like it's co-produced with Germans. I don't know. German people made it.
Yeah, because I like that it says Johannes Roberts, and I'm like, oh, so it's a German guy that's directing it. It's a British film director. It literally, I like highlight his name, and it says Johannes Roberts is a British film director. I'm like, oh,
Maybe he got them German roots.
he probably does have German roots. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not very excited, but whatever.
Speaking of being excited and Resident Evil movies, what do you guys think of the? You guys seen the trailers for the Monster Hunter movie?
Oh no, I haven't watched it yet.
Did you hear about the controversy about it?
Is there a controversy?
That
Other than it just looking really shit?
Yeah, there was actually one of the jokes in the movie was actually like Chinese people are really mad because it's a reference to racism, like a really racist like thing that happens in like, it's like a very deep Chinese rooted hate, like racism. I forgot, it's like about being on your knees or something like that. And
Weird.
it's like, it's in the trailer. And China has officially banned the movie from China, even though it was made by a Chinese company and everything like that, and was actually meant for the Chinese audience.
Yeah, that's
so.
you know what?
It's like some like nursery rhyme or something that was like incredibly rooted in deep seated racism, and so Monster Hunter's in hot shit right now because now the movie's not allowed to be in China, so there's a lot of the money right there. That was like what they were promoting it for, was for the Chinese audience, and they fucked it up by putting accidental racism.
You know what? Now that I'm looking at the trailer, I do remember this trailer.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It doesn't look good at all, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go see it.
You know what I love about Monster Hunter? What I think is really cool about Monster Hunter is all the color. And you know what Monster Hunter the movie doesn't have a lot of?
What's that, Corey?
It fucking takes place in just the desert. It's just goddamn brown.
I love how it at least from the trailers, it kind of like misses the whole point of Monster Hunter, where it's like cool monster hunters hunting monsters and not like American soldiers with guns shooting monsters.
From the director of Resident Evil and starring
Harry, you don't think American soldiers are cool?
Yeah, I love that it's like a weird they go through a portal to Monster Hunter world. Like, why even come up with it's like contrived, why do we need guns and soldiers in this movie?
Are military movies a thing right now?
Yeah, they still are.
It's just like a weird I feel like it's a weird conceit in Hollywood adaptations to like they did in the Sonic movie too. Like Sonic came through a portal from another world because Sonic can't just exist he has to be an alien or something. the monsters have to be aliens in Monster Hunter. Like, why can't they just like exist in that world? Like,
I was thinking, like, what are the producers who are sitting down trying to figure it out? Like, what are they thinking? And I just like was like, they're probably like, military movies are in right now. Poor people like realism, so they can't take place in this realm. They have to come from a parallel universe, just like superheroes.
Like, I don't get it.
You know why? Because right now, currently in Japan, if you go on if you go on my anime list and watch every single thing that's seasonal that's really popular right now, isekai. Everything's a fucking isekai. It's like, hey, guess what? You're a regular
shit.
Joe Schmo that gets teleported to a fucking fantasy world.
They did that in the Smurfs
They're doing
movie.
that now. They did. And guess what? Isekais are really popular in movies now. So isekais are the only thing that you can watch now.
That's kind of
That's it.
I was talking to my roommate about isekais, and it was like, I was like, where's the line drawn on an isekai? And I think we were talking about some shit like the Smurfs.
Yeah, like the Smurfs movie, because that's what they do. They go through a portal
from a fantasy world to our world, and it's an isekai. It's to an extent that's an isekai. But like, I think that's like such a common trope, and I think the only reason why they were like, we gotta make soldiers go to Monster Hunter World, because they were like, oh, we want to have like characters that are relatable to the audience, like you and me. So you guys, if this happened to you, if you were in Monster Hunter World, you'd react the same way as they would. So it kind of gives you that connection for the audience. And then they're like, hey, you're in this new world, but don't worry, they can fight because they're soldiers, so they don't have to train or nothing. They can just pick up a gun. They can pick up a weird sword in this world, and they can fight shit because they're fucking soldiers and cool, man.
I like how that's what they did in Resident Evil.
That's how they write it off. Yeah,
they were like, she enters being she doesn't know anything, so she's like the audience. She has to learn everything, but also she just forgot that she's actually really badass and knows kung fu and knows how to use guns, and like she just forgot. But all right, guys, but she remembers now. Like now that she needs it, she can use guns and she can beat the shit out of these like dogs and you know.
God. And you yourself, the audience, can utilize this when you also remember in that situation. You remember Kung Fu.
Oh, great movie.
I love The Matrix. I actually just watched Jupiter Ascending yesterday, last night before I went to sleep.
How's that?
What a great movie! Oh, it was an excellent movie. Honestly, one of my top 5 movies I've seen all year, which is like the only one of 5 movies I have seen this year. Because I watched Suicide Squad with Kayla the other night.
Oh fuck yeah!
After the Hot Ones challenge and everyone left, her and I just sat in the basement. We were like, "Hey, let's watch Suicide Squad."
I fucking love that movie. It's such a fucking best.
So bad. It's so bad.
Some kind of old baby a triple.
He said it.
when Kayla heard it, she was like, she like looked at me and was like, "Is he gonna say it?" I'm like. We got really excited, but she also was laughing horrifically at Jared Leto when he was like, and did, like when he did that for like 5 seconds straight. She was like, he's just going.
Speaking of Jared Leto, I just need to fucking mention that fucking trailer. Oh my god!
Yeah,
fucking! I can't believe that was real. The fucking Justice League trailer.
It was.
For anyone in the audience who hasn't watched this stupid fucking trailer, they just put out the trailer for the Zack Snyder HBO Justice League thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally ends with Jared Leto Joker unironically saying, like, we live in a society, like, it's supposed to be like this cool moment at the end of the trailer, and it's like Batman. He's like walking up, and you see like he's like, we live in a society, and then he turns, and it's Jared Leto as the Joker, and it's like, what the fuck am I watching? Like,
I'm actually gonna watch this right. I'm gonna find this right now. I'm gonna see Jared Leto Joker.
It fucking, oh my god, like.
He actually says we live in a
No,
society.
yeah, he literally says it. He literally, literally, unironically, straight face says, we live in a society.
Oh my god.
Fucking as the Joker. Like, that movie is gonna be so fucking trash. Like,
oh. Oh, I hate this. Why is that a selling point?
I don't know. That's like the stinger at the end of the trailer. They're like, this is what's gonna get people excited.
It's so sad. It's like as if Zack Snyder was like, "Oh yeah, we got Joaquin," and then they didn't get Joaquin. I would have preferred the Snyder cut if it was Joaquin Phoenix.
If he was in it.
Yeah.
It's rated R for violence and some language, so there might be.
I'm so excited for Superman to say fuck.
Do you think we're gonna see Teen?
I hope so.
I like that.
I hope we see Batman's penis.
Yeah.
And I hope he has his pubes trimmed into like a little bat shape.
You know what?
I hope Superman says fuck.
It wouldn't be the first time in a movie that what's his name? My
Batman?
boy's real smart. Yeah, Batman's who plays Batman?
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time his penis has been in a movie.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Yeah, when his wife got taken.
Gone Girl.
Gone Girl. When his wife got gone.
Yep.
When his girl got gone.
You saw some side. You saw some side peenie.
You saw some dangle.
Yeah, in the shower.
I feel like the ween we want is Ben Affleck's, but the ween we'll get is Jared Leto's.
Well,
Yeah.
if you watch, no, you don't see his dick. I was gonna say, what movie do you see Jared Leto's penis in? But I don't think he's ever.
I hope we see it in this movie.
This will be.
He's like, "Hey, Batman, you want to see a joke?" And then he rips his pants open.
God, I'm like excited for the Zack Snyder cut to come out because I want to laugh at it and make fun of it because he literally said that there's going to be no jokes in this movie. He's like, I want next to no jokes in my movie, and I'm like, it's going to be really funny no matter what because if the acting is bad and everything about it is terrible, it's going to be
like
really
a
funny.
joyless, like desaturated 4-hour long fucking
Yeah.
like. I don't want to watch that movie.
It's gonna be misery porn for DC fans, and it's like if you like miserable, sad superhero movies, I guess you'll really, really like it. But if you are quite the opposite of that, just watch Marvel. Stick with Marvel stuff. Don't do anything, because Marvel's been hitting it out of the fucking ballpark with WandaVision. So
yeah.
Hey,
Like,
that's not joyless and unfun. That's a really fun show, and especially with the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, I like the part where she said, she looked at the camera and she said, "WandaVision." That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the part where she says, "We live in a society." And
we live in a WandaVision society.
I like the part where Wanda and her husband Vision are out doing something and someone runs into them suddenly and goes, "Wanda, Vision."
And then looks at the camera and winks.
It'll be a gas.
Be good, though.
a lot of stuff. Me and my roommates have tons of like insider like conspiracy theories of what's going to be happening next.
I think,
or where this is going to lead into a lot of stuff.
Once the show's finished, we should do like a WandaVision episode.
We
just talk about
absolutely should.
Yeah, I would be very down for that.
I've been kind of watching with my roommate, but I really should sit down and watch.
Yeah, you should.
Watch.
Really
especially
good.
these last 2 episodes, I feel if you don't watch it now and you haven't been spoiled yet, you will be spoiled.
I saw one of the last 2 ones. I don't know which, and I also don't want to say it because just if anyone watching, I don't know what is and isn't a spoiler. So
we can get into it at a later date.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk any plot specific things because for anybody who still hasn't seen it, I just don't want to be that guy to be like, hey, and just say anything because I don't know where anybody's at because I could say something and they'd be like, huh?
Harambe shows up and like you're like, whoa.
You know what? I've always thought Harambe should become a new Marvel hero.
Marvel does
really
have
love
a gorilla man.
I was gonna
They
say,
do.
Yeah, they have
But they
superhero
can make-
gorilla man.
They could have his sidekick be Harambe.
They could.
I think that would be really good.
And
He's
Winston
just
from
got
Overwatch.
It's
Oh.
it's the gorilla character, and then like you'll see in the background of a panel on the wall, it's like a little
Dicks out.
He has like a little
Never-
shrine.
never
He has a little shrine. There's like a candle lit.
There's the words like "never forget" written in plaque.
Oh my god. He's of the ancestors of old. And it's Harambe. Never forgetty.
Never forgetty.
But yeah, no, I'm at that point now with DC movies though. I guess going back to DC, it's like I kind of want them to stop. I just kind of want them to stop trying to make like an interconnected woven universe.
I like that they've given up. like
like
they've given up. They did the Joker
I mean,
movie. They're doing the new Batman movie. Like they've given up.
Yeah,
and I'm okay with it. I think that's the way
I would
they should
really.
go with it.
Yeah, I would really like it if they just stuck to standalone movies and just did like one-off stuff, tried new things. You know, they did that Harley Quinn Birds of Prey movie. That was pretty fun. You know, do like whatever. Just don't, try to connect everything together.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Who cares?
Whatever happened to the horror monster cinematic universe?
Oh, they gave up
Like
after
with
like
Frank.
they made one movie and then stopped.
Yeah. They
It's
made
so
the,
sad.
the
They made the Mummy
and
and then
it
they never
died.
made another movie.
It fucking bombed at the box office.
Kind
It
of
was-
hoping they would at least try and we get something.
No.
And that movie like
No.
went hard setting up like sequels and shit.
Mhm.
Like it went hard. They had fucking Jekyll and Hyde as like Nick Fury. Like they had like
Yep.
Shield. Like they set up like monster
Yeah.
Avengers and shit. And then they just never made another movie.
Yeah, because Johnny Depp was supposed to be like the Invisible Man, and like they had like the whole cast photo and everything, and like I don't know, like that Mummy movie was so fucking bad. I was like, okay, I'm really glad they didn't go for it because holy shit. Remember when they made like an actual commercial advert with like the classic Universal monster horror stuff, and then they were like, generations of Universal horror is now coming to the new generation. It was like trying so hard to be like, look how fucking cool this old shit was, but guess how much cooler it's gonna be now that we're making it now. And it's like more like guns and explosion.
They should make a movie that features horror characters people would relate to today, like like Slender Man, all the FNAF characters.
Yeah.
Just more present day horror characters. That would do it.
At first I thought you were gonna relate to the DC films as horror because it
No.
really is scary how bad they are doing. It is pretty horrifying.
DC's
How
got
they've-
good comics at least.
Yeah, it's all they've
They've
got.
great movies.
No, they don't got great movies, but you know what?
Yeah.
They have good TV though. At least
Yeah.
I like most of their TV
The
shows.
fucking Doom Patrol show. That shit
Mhm.
is like fantastic. I love
yeah,
that
Doom
show.
Patrol. Doom Patrol. Titans is actually really good too. I actually really like Titans.
I haven't seen like any of the other ones.
Okay.
I just watched Doom Patrol and I loved it.
I haven't
Oh, and
seen
Watchmen
Stargirl.
was great.
Watchmen was
Yeah.
superb. That was excellent. So yeah, like just stick to DC television and the comics. Anytime they make a movie, it's like that's gonna be like a 50-50 chance. It's gonna be absolute dog shit or really good.
Like the new
Or at least
fucking Wonder
fun.
Woman movie.
Yeah.
Like
oh,
holy shit.
oh, holy fuck. Okay.
I was gonna watch that movie, but then after you guys and the internet talked about it, I was.
Oh,
I like
Dude,
it. Like
I didn't-
legitimately was the worst movie I've seen in like a really long time. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying that like hyperbolic. Like it was
Yeah.
genuinely a
Didn't-
fucking mess. It was as long as fucking Avengers Endgame.
It was. It was super long.
Did not need.
It
to
was
be
like
that.
it was almost a 3-hour movie. It was almost 3
Yeah,
hours.
I think it was
And
like
I
10
felt
minutes shorter than Endgame.
It was
Damn.
legitimately the most boring movie I've ever seen in my life. Because
Your sister being in the
nothing
movie
happened.
theater.
Yeah, so we didn't watch it in the movie theater. We watched it in our living room.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a
me
pandemic.
too.
But
Oh,
my little sister was the only person that like she wanted to watch it. Like about an hour into the movie, she got up from the couch and said that she remembered she had to go clean her room, and then went upstairs and just never came back down. I feel like that's when your target like audience, she's like a teenage girl, gets up and leaves and makes it lies and says she has to go clean her room at like 9:30 at night on like Christmas Eve. Like I feel like that's how you know you made a bit of a stinker.
Yeah.
Movie so bad she had to leave the family.
My roommates and we were both just sitting there like, wow. Because my roommates wanted to watch it with me because I had the HBO Max account. So they were like, oh, let's watch Wonder Woman together. And I was like, all right, sure. I knew you said it was really bad. So I was like, is it going to be really that bad? I don't know. Maybe he's just being like super like, nah, whatever. Sorry. So I was like unsure. I was like, maybe I'll really like it. Maybe it'll just be a really fun time. I don't know. Maybe it won't be that bad. No. The longer I sat there, I was like, oh fuck. Oh man. I felt like I was losing health as I was watching it.
Yeah, there was like nothing. There was like no redeeming factors about that movie. Like genuinely.
Like, Pedro Pascal, I will admit, he was hamming it way the fuck up, like ramped up to a 10. But you could tell he was really trying. Like you could tell out of all the actors, he was the one that was trying his fucking damnedest. And I admire Pedro Pascal a lot because I love him in Mandalorian. I loved him in Narcos. I love him in virtually almost everything. Even this movie, even though I fucking hated it, I was like, you know what? I kind of don't mind Pedro Pascal. He's the only person that I feel like is really trying with the material he was given. And I applaud that and I appreciate it and I like it. But Wonder Woman was like a fucking secondary character in her own movie. And that was just mind-blowing to me. I was like, why does she feel like she's in the background 95% of the time and not like the foreground? And it felt very reminiscent of Spider-Man 3 to me because it's obviously multiple villains in one movie and it like didn't know which villain it wanted to be because I was just expecting it to be a Cheetah movie. But it's not. It's a Maxwell Lord movie.
I really liked how Cheetah got her powers, her origin story in the movie. She wished on a magic wishing stone that she was sexy and cool, and so she turned into the Cheetah.
I wanted to be like Diana, and that's it. That's how she becomes Cheetah. I want to be like Diana, which is a sexy cat lady.
She wished to be Diana, and then she became evil.
Yeah.
Because of that. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, right?
It was a great
because she was given. I want to say it's because she got power, but it's because it's a monkey's paw. It's essentially a monkey's paw, wishing stone.
Yeah.
So it would do like it would give you what you want, but it would do something else that's just bad in retrospect. So she wanted to be like Diana. So she got like Diana's powers, but she isn't good though. So she's bad. So that was her catch with it, is that she became evil. And that's how it is. And I'm like, this is dumb. This is stupid. And oh my god, that fucking fight scene with her and Cheetah was something else.
It was too dark for you to see anything happening.
It was superbly dark.
And then like half of it took place underwater.
Yeah, that was so bad. I was so mad. I was like, that was embarrassingly shit.
I really liked how she had that armor in all the advertising with like the wings and shit. And then she used it to fly to the fucking like place at the end of the movie. And then it got ripped off her in like a couple seconds and that was it.
Yep. And it's don't worry, it is the strongest armor in the world. But it got destroyed in like 0.5 seconds. And I was like, what? Why even bring that up? It sucked. She just rips it off and it was gone. And I was like, oh, all right, bye. That was a really cool like suit. It was very unique and it stood out. And it was like, let's see some cool shit with it. Nope, just gonna rip it off. It gets destroyed in like 0.5 seconds and that's it. And I'm like,
it's a metaphor for
I hate this fucking movie.
Flying too close to the sun.
Speaking of flying,
that's about as far as I can reach with that one.
The one of the most egregious parts for me was also when she was in Egypt and she takes the one kid and grabs it and she rolls on top of it, but it's clearly a dummy. It's
the part where she gets out of the car and starts running. fucking
Yeah.
and it's just like it's like really clear, like green screen. She's like just like literally just doing this in front of a green screen. Like
She looked as good as Nostalgia Critic when he does it in his fucking shit ass YouTube videos.
Straight up
It's
fucking
embarrassing.
Kung Fu Hustle.
that's like
Yeah,
that's like literally
yeah.
what it like that's what it looked like. It was not great.
Oh my god.
It was not great.
This was a fucking blockbuster movie that was going to be released in theaters. Thank God they put it on
Yeah,
HBO Max
this
because
movie-
it felt like a
This was like a tentpole. Like this came out on Christmas. Like this was supposed to be like their big movie, and everyone hated it and it deserved all of the hate that it got.
Yeah. And especially like the first 10 minutes of that movie was so unnecessary. I was like,
There's so much.
okay,
of that
so I
movie that
felt like there was going to be
Oh and yeah, like
but,
the first 10 minutes being the fucking like race montage,
yeah.
like an unedited like like the whole fucking sequence. It was great.
Yeah. I was like, what was the point? She learns a lesson, but that lesson doesn't even come back into play at all in the rest of the film. So I was like, why did we do this?
She learns not to cheat.
And that's
But
it.
she ends up cheating on her boyfriend because he's not really in his
She
body.
also raped the guy.
Oh, yeah.
That was the thing that happened in that movie.
I told that to my roommates. I'm like, that's rape. And
I
they were
love
like, no, it's
how-
not. And I'm like, yes, it is. That's not his body. Because, like, we're supposed, like, as the audience, we're seeing Steve, whatever his name is, Steve Price, whatever.
Steve
Like,
Trevor.
we're supposed to be seeing Steve Trevor. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Steve Trevor, we're supposed to be seeing him, but to make it easier for the audience to know that that's Steve Trevor is that they have Chris Pine. But when he looks in the mirror, all he sees is the actual dude's body he's taking over.
Yeah, I don't know
so
why.
therefore, that's what Diana is seeing.
I don't know why they had to do that. Like, why couldn't they just bring him back? Why did they have to like have
Yeah.
him be a ghost that possessed some guy's body?
Oh, the
Like they
Wishing
could
Stone
have
should
just
been,
completely it wouldn't have mattered. But they had to do that, and by doing that, they made it so she like had sex with this guy's unconscious body. Like
Oh.
What I think is interesting, I
Like,
haven't seen this
immediately,
movie, but
too.
I watched someone break it down.
Mm.
So like I watched like the Spark Notes version.
yes.
And what I find interesting is there is an obvious plot point that would be great that they missed, which was the monkey's paw bit is that it's not really Chris Pine. It's not really Chris Pine's character. I can't remember his name.
yeah.
But he's in the body, and then like that could be the conflict that Wonder Woman has to deal with, is that he's back, but he's not really back. He's cheated death, and because of that, like I have to understand and learn. But she's like, nah, he's back. I'm gonna sex him.
Yeah, she, like literally, like he's back, and for like a couple seconds, she's like, "Why are you in someone else's body?" And he's like, "I don't know." And she's like, "Okay," and then they fuck like immediately. Like there was like no moral qualms about it at all. They were just like,
No.
"All right."
She just
Like-
had sex with a guy that like clearly didn't consent to have his body be used as a sex object, but whatever. But here's the thing, like if they wanted to do something with like him just coming back through via a wishing stone, where he just comes back, but the monkey's paw catch is that he's only like available for like 24 to 48 hours. Like there's like a ticking clock element where it's like, oh, it's until like this time, and then he's gone. So it's not like he's really come back. He's just there, but he's not gonna stay. So like you only have so much time with him until it's the end. And
Or
you know,
better yet, he's back, but he's a child.
she's
Now
gonna
she's
fuck
got
the kid.
to be no. That's the moral. That's the moral
That's the moral
problem.
dilemma. I want to have sex with you, Steve, but you're a child.
You're a
And then
minor.
he's like, well, don't worry, it's okay. and then Wonder Woman's okay with not only raping an unconscious man's body that's not
Or-
being consented to it.
Or he's back, but he's the equivalent age he would be if he was still alive.
Oh.
So he's just
Oh, he's just like
something I also love.
Grandpa.
Speaking of like the amount of time between the first and second movie was all of the like man out of time kind of shit that they did with
Yeah.
him that didn't like make sense. Like when they had him like he was in like the subway and he saw a train and it was like, well, you have subways, and it's like subways existed during World War One. Like
They did.
there was like a bunch of
Like,
shit that like he got like really excited about like things that existed in his time period that like he shouldn't have
Yeah.
been surprised about. and it also knew
Right.
how to fly a modern jet plane,
Oh,
despite
that
being a
part
was
World War
hilarious.
One pilot.
my roommate literally had a fucking mental breakdown over that scene because he says, "Wait a minute, he's at the Smithsonian. For one, how is he going? He's at the Smithsonian. He takes a fighter jet from the Smithsonian.
Yeah, why
It's
are those
filled
planes like
with
fueled
gas.
up? Like,
How are those? Why are the planes fueled up? How do they still work? Why do they still work? And how does a fucking World War One pilot know how to fly a fighter jet? That's bullshit. And then she suddenly knows how to make it the
yeah, and
invisible jet.
she's just like, oh, she's like, I just remembered, I can turn things invisible, and then just turns it
Yeah.
invisible, and just like that's
Yeah.
never mentioned again. It's just something she can do.
She
I
literally
guess.
she brings like this offhand comment that I made a coffee mug disappear and then we never found it ever again and that was it. And I was like, this is the laziest shit I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, this is astoundingly bad. It also took 1 hour, it was like almost like an hour and 15 minutes for the first big action scene to actually hit. Like, I'm not even kidding. The car chase in Egypt was about an hour to an hour 15 into the movie, and the movie is 2.5.
Okay.
It's like almost like 2.5, near 3 hours.
Yeah, it's a lot of nothing.
Like, and there's like maybe 2 action scenes in the whole movie. It's literally like, I guess if you want to say the opening sequence with the mall, that's like but it's not.
The 80s
super-
aesthetic was also really like shallow, like really skin deep.
Oh,
Like they used like maybe 2 80s songs, and there's like
Yeah.
the opening scene takes place in a mall, and then that's it. Like the rest of the movie could have taken place like really at any point.
yeah, I don't really know why they did what they did with this movie and why it ended up the way it did,
I don't know
but
why,
it
yeah.
is it's a shame because I really did. I've rewatched Wonder Woman before watching Wonder Woman 84, and I like that movie a lot more on my second viewing than I did my first viewing. I think it's one of those few times I was like, wow, I actually really like that movie. That was way better than I remembered it being.
I really like
enjoy it.
2/3 of the first Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah, I think I liked like.
I think the movie
The
falls apart
majority.
really bad in the third act, but I think
Yeah,
most of the movie's really good.
Yeah. Oh, I would still say the third act is the worst part of all of Wonder Woman. But overall, like, a good chunk of that movie, like, I didn't even really care much for the Themyscira stuff in the beginning, but now rewatching it, I kind of didn't mind it as much, and I actually kind of liked it. So I came around to it, I think. So I actually now really enjoy that portion again. So just that ending is, yeah, like you said, it's just kind of messy. But overall, I mean, I'd still say it's better than most things DC's ever put out, like, personally. But Wonder Woman 84, I was like, they did a good job the first time. Maybe they'll strike gold again, and then they instead struck a piece of shit, and now it's stinky in the room.
They struck mold.
It's so sad. I know this wasn't much of a horror episode, I guess.
I mean,
Yeah,
we talked a lot about Resident Evil.
We talked
Yeah,
a lot
we
of it
We just,
for a good hour.
I mean, it's Oh Baby, so we got a little off track, but it's all right.
Whatever.
We're like an hour and a half
Are
in.
you-
We want to like
Are you
wrap it
feeling
up.
like wrapping it? Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
I
Final
had-
thoughts, everybody?
I had a lot of fun talking about Resident Evil and everything
Mm-hmm.
else that came after Resident Evil.
The natural
Same.
flow of the conversation.
Yeah.
Truly.
Sorry I
had a-
died.
Yeah,
no.
at least you've been good since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you've been-
I just had to
Right.
restart my
Ryan's doing a good job. Good job, Ryan. Working hard. Being on the internet.
And I had an idea just now, like while we were talking. Since we haven't come up with the theme for the next episode, we want to throw that to the audience and see maybe if they want to suggest what we should cover for
I
the next
like that.
episode.
Yeah, do you guys have any suggestions for us on what we should cover
Yeah.
in the next episode?
Throw some ideas our way in the chat.
We'll juggle them.
I'd really
We'll
like
do 'em all
juggle
at the same time. We'll do them all at the same time.
Oh no, I don't know about that.
Rip.
But solid. Mitch says Barati arc. I feel like this is...
we've done that in like last season.
Yeah,
We did a
We talked
Variety
about
Arc
the Variety
episode.
Yeah.
I think it was specifically about
Fucking-
manga. We did. It was in our
Yeah,
manga
yeah.
episode. We did an entire section of that episode dedicated to the Barati arc.
ICP's Dark Carnival series.
Oh,
Should we go full Juggalo?
Maybe.
We'll wear like juggler
We'll do like the face
paint.
paint and everything.
I think I have a bunch of face paint. I could do it.
I
don't
would
have
I
any,
would go
but
to
I-
like fucking Party City or some shit.
Yeah, I'd have to
I
go to
don't
Party
know.
City and buy some face paint.
I don't know anything about fucking Insane Clown Posse, so that would
I'm
be.
down to learn. I'm down to learn too.
I'd be interested in doing that.
I don't know anything.
Do we want to do that for next episode?
I feel like we should go for it.
Should we
I feel
try
like, dude,
deep dive
I'm
into
gonna-
ICP lore?
All right, if we're gonna do that, I feel like there's only one person, and I know who's asking this question, and that's the person I'm gonna have to go to for everything ICP related. So, I know exactly the listener.
There's got to be one of those videos like the ice. How deep does the iceberg go with like ICP?
Go get the
From
deep
what
dive.
I've been told, it's pretty deep.
All right.
I will never forget. Like, oh, sorry, never mind.
Don't want to spoil it for next episode.
Yeah. Save it for next episode.
Let's keep it in. But all right, everybody. I had a good time discussing and talking about the music of this, and Insane Clown Posse is music. So actually, it's
More
music.
Corey's
and
music
story.
corner next time.
Yeah, maybe next time I'll talk about the hero's journey of ICP. The cycle of life within their group. But
Fantastic.
but thank you all for watching. Thank you all
Yeah.
for tuning in. This has been season 6, episode 1. I appreciate y'all coming by. I had an outro last season.
Podcast.
It was something like, thanks for watching, everybody. Go check us out on the I think we're gonna have an Oh Baby Triple YouTube channel.
Yeah, we gotta set all that up.
We're gonna work on that maybe, and then maybe the
Just
real
up-
podcast was the friends you made along the way.
Beautiful.
Also, we're gonna upload the audio of this to Spotify.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
you can catch
listen
us
to
on
Spotify.
Spotify and YouTube and shit at some point once we upload it.
So if you missed this episode live, you can listen to it.
We're
on
advertising
Spotify.
this episode during this episode.
Catch us on Spotify or anywhere else you listen to podcasts.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.